And we are live.
As the clock strikes 7, the vital light. Inner circles here where voices thrive. Turn on your screens, let the magic unfold. Listening and healing as stories are told. Come on, come on, this is your time. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. Inner Circle podcast where hearts unite. Sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a home. With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. So join the conversation, let's set the tone. In a Circle podcast where love is well known.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well today. This is the Inner Cycle Podcast. Welcome to the Inner Cycle Podcast. Today is Wednesday, February 26th, and as always, we are here to amplify immigrant voices, spark important conversations, and challenge the way we think about life, business, and finance. So I'm your host, Abe Kamara, and today we have three important panelists, great panelists. The topic for tonight is I would just say the modern world of prenups. For all the married folks out there, what is prenup? What does prenups mean to you, and what it is? I don't even know, right? As first of all, that's a big English word for me because I don't know what prenups is. So today, again, right? This is a month of love, and Miss B have chosen all these topics. So tonight we're gonna be deep diving into that. Again, it's about money and love, basically. But tonight, we're going to focus on prenups. So, folks, should join us. Um, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on LinkedIn. Wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcast, Twitter or X, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast, man. This is a community show. Join us so we can amplify immigrant voices and discuss important things like prenups. So tonight, I'm your host, Abe Kamara. We're going around the room and introduce our panelists quick, and then we'll jump into things. We have a brand new panelist joining us, and she's going to be joining us every Wednesday. So, Jerry, welcome. Can you introduce yourself quick to our audience, our listeners, and then uh, we'll introduce the rest of the panelists. So, Jerry.
Hi
No,
everyone.
no, not you, Jerry.
Oh,
You're
okay.
gonna
Okay,
confuse
sounds
me
kind
here.
of like the
No, no,
same.
it's you.
Sorry.
Yeah, actually, I'm talking. You're gonna confuse me here. So, yeah, okay. Uh, go ahead, Miss Jerry. Maybe want to say that, then you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Jury, and I'm a Liberian immigrant living here in Minnesota, a business owner, and yeah, I just love everything business, entrepreneurship, and investment.
That's good.
Don't know if
That's
there's anything else I need to add.
no. You good. That's it. Jerry.
Hi, guy, everybody. I'm Jerry. I'm a data analyst and a financial professional. Um, you know, Thank you for having me back. I'm glad to be on your show today.
Thank you. Taylor May, my man, gonna
Yes,
get you
sir.
up out here.
How are you?
Yeah. Quick intro,
Keith,
and then
Keith Taylor, aka Travel Tech, Des Moines, Iowa, New York City. Glad to be on.
that's good. Miss B.
Good evening, everyone. As usual, it's your girl, Miss B. Happy to be here tonight.
Thank you, folks. And folks, you can, if you want to contribute to the conversation, the modern world of prenups, you can call our number 817-600-1525. or you can put a comment in the chat. It's about financial transparency and the modern world of prenup. So you can, um, you good?
I'm good.
Are you good? Okay, that's great. That's good. Okay. Anyway, so again, right, our topic is financial transparency. We want to talk money and the modern world of prenup. So,
Can
Miss
you
B,
hear
why
me?
you? Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Okay. Can you hear us, Miss B? We are not hearing you. Can you hear me? Can you hear us? Okay. Anyways, first of all,
I can hear
uh,
you.
you can hear us now. You can hear me
Yeah, I
now.
think her screen was just frozen for a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, why you chose this
Can
topic?
you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you very good. Why you chose this
We
topic?
can hear you.
I think it's laggy.
You keep freezing, like you keep freezing and coming back. Are you good, Miss
I'm
B? Are
good.
you
Hopefully, I stay good.
okay? Why you chose this topic?
You guys can't
Yes,
hear me? I can hear you.
we can hear you well. So why you chose this topic?
You're okay.
When to talk money and because I know sometimes we don't think about what we have accomplished prior to our partners coming in because we don't see ourselves as wealthy people because maybe we're not a Jeff Bezos or a Bill Gates, but we whatever you have should be protected, right? And I think when you start having these conversations early on in your relationships, it just starts for having good transparency, right? And that's why I think prenup is important because I know women who are, have accomplished a lot, who were the breadwinner, had their executive jobs, you know, army veterans, a good executive job, nice 401k, dealing with, men who have had extramarital affairs and then time for a divorce. Unfortunately, they take half. They get half of your 401k, half of your veteran money, half of everything, including the
Okay,
home. You're forced to sell it. So that's why.
okay. My man Jared though is like, do we really need prenup? Or is it for rich people? Because it is like, is prenup really necessary for us just trying to, straight by or strap out or something like that? Is prenup really necessary?
Uh, it is definitely necessary in
Why?
my world, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, if you think about it, we're living in a world where the divorce rate is so high, you know. Um, and like Miss B said, people come in with different intentions. Everybody get people are getting married nowadays, and you don't know what the other person thinks. To be honest, everybody says, "Oh, we're in love, we're getting married, and everything," but sometimes things can get pretty messy. So I think to protect both sides, you know, prenup can actually bring, you know, peace of mind to both parties. So, in my opinion, it is important.
Okay. Miss Jerry, what's your thought on this? Do married couples really do they really need prenups, right? I mean, I know Jerry is saying, you gotta know what another person is bringing in, but do you really need it though? If you trust each other, don't you think bringing prenup in the mix is already preempting a divorce, right? Because to me, that's what prenup is. Maybe you're expecting that you guys might not last.
Yeah, that's true. I would say it depends. In some cases, it's totally necessary, and I feel like in other cases, not so much. For example, if you guys have like similar income, where maybe one person make $100,000 a year and another person make $90,000 a year, I don't see the point in doing a prenup because there's not much to be shared.
Hmm.
And however, it's also important, as she said, to protect yourself. But again, if you're in it for the long haul, why do you need a prenup?
Exactly, that's my thing. Why do you need a printer if you are in it for the long haul? Miss B, do you care to respond to that before I go to Taylor Mail? Because I said Yeah. Why? If you are in it for the long haul, you came in it with the right intentions. Why do you need a prenup?
Because the reality is we don't know. We don't know what the future is going to bring. I've watched some long-term high school sweetheart, 4 kids later, 2 homes,
You need
business,
to go
get a
charge the tablet.
divorce.
Can you go to Enjoy to use a charger to charge the tablet?
And so it is those type of situations that have happened around me why I
Hmm.
feel like um prenup is a very good conversation to be having. You may decide not to do it, but it could be a very good conversation to be had. There's so many women, more so on the women end, that I know are left having to start life from scratch because they didn't protect themselves while before the marriage and even during the marriage, right? And that's just the reality. You don't know what's going to happen. You go in there with the well best intentions, you fall in love, and things happen. Even when people have nothing, and they're as they are accumulating wealth in their marriage, they put things in place. Believe it or not, there are some married couple who starts to put different contracts and different things in place, just so that we're establishing the business end of our relationship, and then we're also having the other part of our marriage. There's couples that open businesses together, but at the end of them, that business is separate from that marriage, and you need to establish that.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Tell
that
me.
brings me to my point again, where what the
Uh-huh.
whole idea of prenup is like protecting one's assets, right? And there's like some instances it makes sense. However, if you don't even have a home, a much to even share, like what is there to even protect? So I was in
Okay.
this group chat and somebody's like, okay, I want a prenup. And somebody's like, how much do you make a year? And he's like, oh, I make 150. And the person was like, that's not a prenup money. Like, come on,
Okay.
like be for real.
Uh,
If you go to the divorce table, a lot of states already have law in place to protect women. I know you don't always go in the favor of the female, but most states these days, if kind of like they have laws in place to protect you in case of a divorce, automatically, like for average family, that person most likely is not making a couple of hundreds and thousands of dollars to even have a lot to even share in the first place. So
mhm.
it's like
Okay.
prenup is just a waste of time in those kind of situation. But if you have like a business, I understand. If you have
Okay.
a business that bring in a couple of $1 million a year where you have to protect your assets, you have to protect properties and investments, then it kind
Okay.
of makes sense
Okay.
for me.
Tell- Okay. Yeah. Tell me. Do you think prenup for our kind, right? We that make less than $100,000. Do you think prenup is a waste of time, or is it necessary to protect? No matter your income level, is it necessary to protect yourself, as Miss B is saying, or do you think it's a waste of time?
I agree with Ms. B 100%. It's not a waste of time. I'll tell you the
Oh.
reason. I don't
Uh-huh.
even care maybe if you're even making just $1. The way that this world is programmed nowadays, you can see
Uh-huh.
that even I'm just speaking from a man perspective though,
Come on,
because
man.
yes, man, we are very vulnerable to this society.
Okay.
And for years, man has been used. So I don't blame man who is even before that you meet somebody, like Miss B said, you have to discuss those matters. Put those matters on the table. Because I cannot be rich. Say maybe if I make like she said, maybe if I'm a millionaire, there's no way that somebody is going to come in and just decide to claim all my money. If the like Jerry said, if the relationship does not work. And that's why I disagree respectfully with that lady,
Yeah, Miss Jerry.
one of the
Uh-huh.
panelists.
Oh
Okay.
no, that's okay.
I
Hmm.
disagree with you respectfully because
Yeah, that's
the
fine.
amount that people make, I don't think, in my opinion, is how much maybe somebody make. Is all about the part of the protection side of it. Because sometimes you have to understand that people get into marriage. For instance, maybe look at somebody like Kim Kardashian.
Okay.
Look at somebody like J Lo. I'm not saying
Hmm.
because at that part you are going to be right because they have money. No problem. Can you imagine somebody like J Lo who will keep marrying everybody till she die? Somebody like what's her name, Kim Kardashian. If you give Kim chance now, anybody that playing basket, if they remove their shirt, have 6 pack, she will settle down with that person. She wants
Yeah.
to divorce after a few years. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, my sister, it does not matter if you
Yeah, I,
allow
I totally
another
understand.
Yahweh.
Like, I'm not disagreeing with you guys. Like,
I know.
honestly,
Let me
I'm
let
not
me finish.
disagreeing with
Let
you
me
guys.
finish
I
my
just
train of
feel like
thought.
Wait,
in certain
wait. Okay, yeah, wait a little bit.
situations,
Okay.
it's a waste of time.
Okay.
Because some people barely even have like money in their account. What are you going to share in a prenup? Like honestly, you
So
can
it
barely
doesn't.
even afford to pay your wife alimony. What are you going to even like? What is there to even
It
protect?
can. You're
Yeah.
protecting
Okay.
your
One at a time. One.
potentiality
Okay.
too. I will say
That's
this,
what,
Jerry.
that's
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying.
Sometimes you're getting the prenup not because of what you have now. If you think about the Diary of a Mad Black Woman,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
when she met him, he had nothing. In that prenup, he said that no matter how much wealth he accumulates, if she ever divorces him, she would get nothing because he wanted to know that she was there for love.
For love,
18
exactly.
years later, all that money later, because he was a lawyer. I graduated from law school. I know my future potential. I know my future wealth.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm protecting that future potential and wealth. And I'm going to say, you know what, today she may be okay. But tomorrow, when she decides, you know what, I've gotten enough what I need from him, now I'm about to take him for half, she leaves him and then you're unprotected. So that's why some people do it sometimes, not only for what I have now, but what I may have
What's
tomorrow.
going to
I
happen
know
later?
that wealth. I know
Okay.
my future wealth.
Okay. But okay. Tell me, do you want to finish your thought, or you want? Are you good? You good? Jared though. Jared.
I'm continue, no problem.
Yeah, yeah. My man Jared though is like Miss B is saying, right? You have to like protect your future self, right? But if it could go the other way, you that signing that printer, you might is like it could go either way, right? You are signing something, you say you're trying to protect your
Hmm.
future self, but you could be locking yourself into a situation that might be unfavorable to you. Why do you even want to take that risk?
Unfavorable.
It could
I'm
be. I
looking
mean,
at it from this perspective,
she
right?
referenced the diary of the mad black woman, right? I mean, what is like that situation right there, right? Is like he was a lawyer. They were both of them were poor, right? And then she went and signed a prenup that probably was unfavorable to her. You locking yourself into a situation that might come back to bite you. Do you want to take that risk?
I mean, of course, if you believe in yourself and you have aspirations like everybody else, you will sign that thing because I look at it from this perspective.
Mm.
If you don't sign it, for me, it's a red flag.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah,
Oh,
because you're
so red
literally
flag.
saying you're not. People say, "Oh, I'm in it for the right reasons," and I get that part, right? What if you
Hmm.
don't? If you don't sign, I could think the other way. Somebody else may think the other way too. Like, okay,
Hmm.
because in this day and age, it's all about what you bring to the table. That's a thing,
Hmm.
right? And if I come in and I say, okay, let's sign a prenup, and you turn around dancing around the issue like you don't want, or you don't love me, or do you really love me? You don't want to sign that prenup. It's it's like, wait, what else are you thinking? And it's kind of crazy, but I think I agree with Taylor Made and the rest of the panelists because in the reality is things happen, and if you don't protect yourself now, who knows what's going to happen in the future? Yes, I'll take that risk and bet on myself that
Hmm.
I'm going to be okay in the future. But what if it's the other way around too?
Okay, Miss Miss Jerry though, if Jerry is saying right, if my man Jerry is saying, hey, like if you don't sign a printout, that's a red flag. I mean, what's about the other way around? If you coming to if you coming to me to sign a prenup, isn't that a red flag? Because hey,
I know.
where this prenup coming from? Isn't this are we in this for love, for better or for worse? When you stand at our altar, they tell you guys for better or for worse. Why are we even discussing prenup? Miss Jerry, this for you. This one's for you.
Or it's for,
Yeah, I think
I know.
don't you think the other way, right? Is
Eh,
Jerry is saying if he goes to his partner to sign, if the partner refuses, it's a red flag. The other way around, don't you think? If your partner is bringing prenup to you and you guys in it for better or for worse, don't you think it's a red flag as well?
Yeah, that could go either way. Like the person you were telling, oh, why you can't sign a prenup could be like, okay, why do I need to sign a prenup if you truly love me and you as a man is your goal to protect me, to provide for me? Why do you see the need to protect yourself so much? I think your
Yeah.
primary concern should be protecting me, your family that you're trying to create, and trying instead of trying to protect some assets that you don't even have most of the times that you're projecting that you have in the future.
Mm,
So it's like okay, but at the end of the day, it just comes down to the couple, the couple of whoever is in that relationship and their preferences.
mhm,
I would say because one person could say, "If you love me enough." prenup wouldn't be the problem
Okay.
because you wouldn't even mind sharing what you have with me even if we go our separate ways.
Okay. Miss B, what role do culture and traditional norms have to play with all this? Because I mean, mine, I left Liberia at a young age, but all the time I was there. Now one day I hear about prenup. What role is like? Is this a Western thing?
Oh, it was happening indirectly. It was happening indirectly in Africa, and it's still happening indirectly in Africa, right? Africa doesn't have a court system that's going to grant you alimony. It doesn't have a court system that's going to grant you child support, right? Well, maybe I don't know for all countries, but I would say for Liberia, right? You're still, even when you marry that man and you guys get your both name is on that deed, the reality if he chooses to kick you out, at the end of the day, he's going to call your family, pack your things up, call your family and tell them, you'll come for your daughter. I don't want her anymore. And that's going to be the end of that, unfortunately. And so, yes, cultural norms play a lot in this idea that the man is the breadwinner, he is the provider, and therefore everything that we have in the marriage is because of him. And so when he decides that he no longer wants me as a wife now, he gets to keep all of that. And the best thing I can ask for is that he lets me pack my little belongings and take them with me, even up to the kids. He can say, where are you going to go with my children? How are you going to take care of my children? You're going to feed them. What roof are you providing for them? And he's likely the family will say, Ma, little children with that man, I didn't mean children. Let him take care of your children. What he going to do? Move in another woman or get a maid or somebody to be taking care of those kids. And so culture does play a big part. And you come to America now and it weighs on us. The way women act and don't think I have much to protect, so we don't even care to concern ourselves with the prenup, right? Mm-hmm. Or if he just leaves you, sometimes they don't even go after alimony, they don't even go after child support. And so I'm saying is protect yourself, even if it's your little 9-to-5 job, even if it's your vehicle that you come into the marriage with, protect yourself.
Oh, protect yourself. Okay, folks, tonight we are discussing prenups, financial transparency, right? Love and money. And it's been a series of February. Every Wednesday we have been discussing love and money. And today we are ending with prenups. Tailor-made though, in many cultures, right? African cultures, marriage is it's not just about two people, it's about families. What effect though if you bring prenup into that kind of a mix? What impact or what effect does it even have, right? It's not just about the man and woman, but the extended family, the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, the brother, just like it's about family. Do you think, what impact would prenup have in such a situation?
Well, let me just say this. That's even better. Do you understand? Because do you know that as far as maybe you have taken this to Africa now, do you understand maybe sometimes when you marry somebody, especially maybe African people, you are not just marrying that woman too. You are marrying the mother, the father, the uncle, the brothers, the sisters, everybody.
Okay.
So if you don't be careful, they are going to use you. They will use you and wash you dry. So be that you you're African, you know what I'm saying. Maybe they will say that okay, so auntie shot this. They will say that okay, go and ask Uncle Eddie, you give me some. When that person shot another auntie, if you don't sign this prenup, into that this system now, I believe what's happening. People starting to understand that man has becoming the victim of all of this calamity. It never used to be like this. Marriage was not like this. Relationship was not like this. What people is getting married for nowadays is self-interest. What they can get from you. Watch what Jerry said. If you think that I'm lying, do you know that somebody will say that, oh baby, I love you, and you know what, I can cross the ocean for you. Do you know that one time, my own personal experience, somebody that I dated a long time ago, I hope that my wife is not watching this. And then he said that, you will not believe what she said. She said that, in case that we are inside the canoe, people in Liberia say canoe. In case that we are inside the canoe, mean you and your mother, and the canoe capsized, turned over inside the water. Who are you going to save? I said, can you imagine? Why are you even putting yourself in a situation like this? Don't you think I'm going to save my mother? Why can't you say your father? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So this prenup here is very important too. This is going to save the man. That's African heritage. You are not just marrying that woman too. You are married even down to the dog and the cats that inside, down to the chicken.
Okay. So okay, Jerry, there to Taylor May's point there, right?
Oh, you're laughing. You know what I'm saying is truth.
Oh yeah, 100%.
if it includes extended family, to that Miss point, if it includes extended family and you want to purchase, I mean, there should be a clause in. Let's assume you go. I mean, you guys get to the point of there should be a clause in there that protect both individuals from whether like in terms of the extended family coming into the mix. There should be a. I mean, should there be a clause in there?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is why I said if you don't understand, it's okay. The way I look at it, right? Marriage can be transactional too. You know,
Mm,
if you don't understand and go into the details of what you are worth or whatever you're bringing into the marriage. So if you married a millionaire and he's giving you, say, 30, whatever percentage he's trying to give you, do the numbers, do the math, and see if you're worth that much. And then you can come to the table, And if you are the man and you in a relationship or you're trying to marry somebody and you really love that person, having a prenup in a way also shows that you care for this person. So in
mhm,
case there's a divorce, they are also gonna walk away with something. Like my guy said, people come into marriages with different intentions, right?
mhm,
So
And they will not tell you.
I'm gonna piggyback right, on the African thing, right? Where you go to Africa
yeah,
and
yeah.
I feel
Mhm,
like
mhm,
one of the days, like in this day and age, um, people do come to marriage with different intention. They want to, if you bring, let's say, okay, I'm marrying somebody from Africa. Technically, I'm marrying the people too, right? So if they come into the marriage, um, they also want to take care of their people,
Mm. You
and,
see?
and that's just the way. That's just the way it works. I'm taking
sure.
care of
Mhm,
her, and she's taking care of her people.
Yeah.
okay.
So in a way, if I don't protect myself and my family, if things go south, my people will end up with nothing.
That's
So marriage is turning to this game of chess, whatever you want to call it. But in my opinion, man, it's all if you come into the if you come to the table and both sides agree on how to split everything, I think it's a fair deal for everyone.
Yes.
okay. Miss Jerry, though, before I come to Miss B, Miss Jerry, don't you think though, right? The reason why the divorce rate is so high is because of the whole transactional mindset about marriage, right? The whole prenup thing to me, like to Jerry's point, that is like I don't think to me, right? Is that if you come in with that kind of mindset of prenup, that means that you coming in like it becomes transactional, and then that's what causing so. I mean, all of these divorces we have around here. I mean, like divorce rate is so high because everyone like Tito May is saying people are coming in for a reason. Jerry is saying people are coming in for a reason. Don't you think that's why the divorce rate is so high in our society these days?
Well, I would say we are all selfish
Hmm.
by our human nature, whether male or female. We
Okay.
all get into relationships or friendships or whatever the case may be, looking to looking at what we can get out of it at the end of the day. Everyone,
Hmm.
we are all selfish. And I feel like that's why divorce rates are so high, because everyone is like, okay, what can I get out of this? If this is no longer serving me, and how can I exit? Or what, how can I protect myself? That's the whole point of the prenup again. How can I protect myself in case anything happens? So I make sure I'm protected, my family is protected, and all of that stuff, which is not wrong. Like,
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong with protecting yourself. But at the end of the day, if we look at the what is a family for?
Hmm.
Why are we getting married? What is the end goal here? Like, if we are so focused on protecting ourselves all the time, which already in the first place become transactional, and it's like we're just waiting. If something goes south, I'm already protected, so I don't even care anymore because my prenup is going to protect me.
Yeah.
That in a
Yeah.
way, people don't even want to try.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay, so Miss B, then to that point, don't you think, especially if you bring it to our culture and African culture, right? African immigrant, don't you think such a thing, if prenup come into the mix, don't you think it might bring infidelity into the marriage, cheating into the marriage? If I have prenup, I know if something happen, I'm protected. I might have just have maybe a helper out there, right? If something have been
The people that even protected it already got
wait,
helpers.
wait, wait,
And
Miss
so
Jerry,
I am having
let Miss B take this
I
one
am
here.
having, I am welcoming this conversation. I'm excited about this conversation tonight because I know the kind of girlfriends that are single that I have and
Uh-huh.
what they're bringing to the table, right?
Okay.
And
Uh-huh.
God, I want them to protect themselves. I have
Mm-hmm.
girlfriends who are single, they're
Mm-hmm.
boss chicks, they're
Mm-hmm.
making six figures, they already own their own home all by themselves,
Okay.
have a nice savings all by themselves. Yes, please definitely know that there are men too in this community who are looking at you. And rumor probably already going, oh, my man, go there. I guess she let her take care of man. Oh, she let her take care of man. And so now he already in there as a boyfriend. She likes to take care of man. Evidently, just realize, ladies, honest to God, and I know we're coming from a place of, well intentioned. If you are the type of woman I just explained and you go and marry him, he will have access to half of everything because of that prenup. If you've built your 401k, been a nurse for the last 10 years, working at your job, you own your home, he will have access to everything. He can divorce you a year later. He's going to get 50% of everything if you do not put a prenup in place or something to protect yourself. And
But
that's what I know the reality is we're having right now in our community.
if you are going there for love, whether you hear rumors about him that why, what's the essence of protection? You are going there for love. Forget about at the end
Like
of the
Jerry
day,
said,
anything
if
happen
he's going
happen.
there for love, then
Mm-hmm.
sign the prenup. You shouldn't be there for what she got. Especially you promoting the joint bank account, right? You marry me, you meet me what I have, and I say, okay, you know what? Let's do a joint bank account. I mean, everybody puts in what they got going forward
Yeah,
into this
yeah.
joint bank account.
Mhm.
That's the love we should look at. You cannot look for something that you did not invest in, you were not a part of creating. That's wrong. And that
Yeah,
shows, like
that part
Jerry said,
makes
that's
that
a red
part
flag right there. That's
it
a red flag
makes
to
total
me.
sense. Yeah, like makes total sense. But I feel like if somebody's gonna bring a prenup to the table, the other party should be bringing their prenup to the table. It should be both parties, not just one
Okay.
person. Okay, I have all of these assets before coming into the marriage, and this is what I want, and this is what I want. If somebody's gonna present me a prenup in a relationship, even if I don't have nothing, I'm presenting my prenup as well.
So do you got like in this case though, in this case, right? If both parties, I mean, do you? So Jerry, then let me come back to you here, right? Do you guys need a lawyer, right? If to Miss Jerry point, if you guys are bringing stuff on the table, yes, you need a prenup. Do both parties need lawyers, right? So
Yeah,
maybe
both
to
parties
draft.
have to bring their own lawyers because the next person lawyer cannot do your prenup for you.
Okay,
So
Jerry.
we both bring our lawyers. We discuss what we want coming into the relationship. Like it makes sense if you're going to come in a relationship with so much money than the other person. But as I was saying earlier, if you guys have similar income, you're not
Mhm,
expect your income to increase, and in the near future, you're going to keep your same jobs. You're not going to do some kind of business that's going to turn into a multi-millionaire. There's not much to be protected. Then
mhm.
it makes no sense. But if you're coming into the marriage with a lot more than the other person, maybe like she said, a nurse who's making six figures, and maybe she meet a guy who's still a CNA we don't even know what he want to do with his life. It makes sense for that person to protect themselves. But if you're
Okay.
coming out of even plea where you have like similar income, similar careers, and like I'm like, okay, it's a waste of time because there's not much here to even divide.
Okay. My man Jerry though, is like to the whole issue of lawyer thing, right? If you're coming on the same line, on the same wavelength, similar income, similar career, do you guys need to bring a lawyer into the mix to help you guys draft or print up, as you said earlier, to protect your future?
Absolutely. You know,
Why
absolutely.
if why if you don't even you make it 75,000 that you gotta go hire a lawyer just to do your print up,
Yeah,
dude?
maybe they may make more money, so I would want my cut. But here's the thing, though,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like it's not because, and like I said, it's not because for me personally I can't do it on my own or whatever. If I'm coming into a relationship and I say, oh, I love this person, I want to be with them forever, right?
Mm, mm,
I don't know what the future holds,
mm,
and I don't. My goal of this prenup thing, and you know what, prenup is negotiable, and you can have clause like Miss B said. What if somebody cheats and blah blah blah, and they take everything away from them? And I'm looking at it like, well, we can have that clause in the contract, right? So that way, if you turn around and did something, well, there you go. You see what I'm saying? But the reality is this: I'm not signing a prenup just because I want everything. I'm signing a prenup to make sure that um, if you got me when if I need it. Like, sometimes things don't work out for everybody, right? So if I sign a prenup, it's a way for you to really tell, or you want to make sure the opposite party doesn't walk away with nothing. That's, to me,
Okay.
that's the love right there. Things may not work out. Relationship, marriages may not work out. We all
Okay.
get it, right?
Okay.
But at the same time, if things don't work out, you still care for this person, that they can walk away with something. That's just the whole bottom line of things. You just don't want to, if things don't work out, you just
Yeah.
don't want to say, well, I hate this person regardless, so they should walk away with nothing. Let's
Okay.
sit on the table and figure it out.
Okay. Taylor May, right? To Stefan point here, right? So every divorce is the women that mostly benefit the most, right?
I said
It's
it.
women that, yeah. Do
That's
you
not
agree?
true.
Do you agree with this?
That is
Do
not
you agree?
true.
Taylor May, Taylor
That is
May,
not
do you agree?
true.
Do you
Where did you
agree?
guys
Wait,
get this from?
wait, Miss Jerry, wait. You too high tonight. Wait, say, hold yourself. Taylor May, is it a true statement?
Well, Stefan is not lying. If you look at, no, Stefan is not lying. I don't know who Stefan is. Is that somebody online?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Stefan is not lying. And Madam Jerry, don't don't worry, your time will come now. No
Yeah.
wahala, don't be no wahala. But you see, what Stefan is driving, and I believe that even if we want to be very transparent in this on this chat room tonight, we
Yeah.
have two people here, we are three man.
Yeah.
Look, honestly, if you look at the ratio, Stefan is not lying. If you look at the ratio, Stefan is not lying. We are not saying that percentage of women are not also, or man, they are not benefiting from it. But if you look at the ratio, of course, Stefan is more than maybe 90 something percent right. Let me just say this. Let me finish by saying this.
Yeah.
Look, do you understand that maybe if you can love somebody from now to Jesus come back again? I don't know when. They have said that 1,000 years BC, that time we have seen all those years, they have not come back yet. They will wake up one day, they will still tell you that, hey, I don't love you. You can love somebody. One day will come, they will say that they don't love you. Can you imagine sometimes somebody will just be with somebody for like 35 years and just wake up, so they tell you that, hey, I don't like the way that you chew. You don't like the way that I chew when I'm eating. So you did said this after 30 something years. Now that you want to tell me now you want to leave. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You didn't tell them, man, all these years. You don't like the way that you chew. After 35 years, you're coming out to tell this man that you don't like the way that you chew. Since when? And they will say that, okay, I want to put in divorce because I don't like the way that you chew. I'm just giving an example too. I don't like the way that you chew. I've been hiding this chewing thing for so long. You have been embarrassing me for too many years. So I don't like it. I'm going to put in divorce. So that's what this prenup. Whether you like it or not, whether you are a millionaire, whether you are a thousandaire, whether you're 100-year, put in this prenup. It protect everybody. It's not there to harm you. When I have this much money and I marry somebody maybe who's broke, if I'm not the one that bringing up this prenup to you or saying that maybe we should have something like joint account, you should not be asking me.
Okay.
It does not work like that. If you ask me that I make more money than you, that means I know that you are targeting me.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Okay. So it should be a one-way street, right? The person who has the more money should be the one asking for it. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. Think about it.
Okay.
You know that if somebody who does not have money, you AB now, somebody, don't you think that we call that robbery without a gun?
Okay.
That's what it is. It's robbery without a gun.
Okay. Miss B, what's your reaction to this statement? I'll ask you the same question, right? Is in divorce, is it a woman that benefit the most? Taylor may say yes. Stefan is in, it's very true. What's your
90
response?
something percent, 90 something percent of the time.
It may say 95% of women benefit.
I would say for the state of Minnesota, it is a women's state, and I know a lot of people say that it is a woman's state. It's in the favor of women's state. I would say prior to, let's say 10 years ago, things have changed. when it comes to divorce. They look at everybody's income. They look at a lot of things these days, even now with child support. So
We're
I'll
not
say
just
this.
looking at Minnesota, but we're
It,
looking at generally, right? As
yes,
a
that's what I
general
say.
statement,
Outside for the
that
last
goes.
10 years,
Yeah.
nationwide, globally,
Mm-hmm.
let's just say nationwide,
Mm-hmm.
they things have mostly been favorable for women up until the last 10 years ago. Men have advocated and lobbied a lot for themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I see a difference now when it comes to the divorce, it comes to this child support. It has predominantly been in the favor of women. I will admit that. Up until the
Mm-hmm.
last 10 years, I think things are changing a little bit in the favor of men. Because if
Okay.
you look at Chris Brown and 50 Cent, people who have money, who have been taken for child support, have an Usher is full custody. Dwayne Wade, he got full custody. 50 Cent, baby mom wanted more, it got reduced.
Mhm.
Chris Brown, the same way, she wanted more, it got reduced. So I will say men are wising up and they're really saying, if you really want love me,
Mm-hmm.
then let it be about that. Let it not be about my money, you know?
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, you never know people's intention. Oprah and Stedman been together since 1986, never got married.
Okay.
And so
Miss
I
B.
think if they separated, she would be nice enough to give him something because he's been with her for a long time. But is she obligated to? No.
Okay. Miss B, though you mentioned earlier that your ladies out there, they are working hard. When they come into a situation, they should definitely do a prenup. Why if it's the other way around? They met it walking into it and say, "Hey, I want a prenup." Without her asking for it. You
As a lady, I'm always here for my fellow females.
Hey,
Girls, I got
I
your
know.
back.
Yeah, but why
But
if
as
why?
somebody
Yeah.
who has
Hmm.
hardworking brothers and
Hmm.
nephews and
Hmm.
male cousins, I'm
Hmm.
always telling them to protect themselves. Heck yeah, I do
Okay.
not want no woman who has
Hmm.
not invested in him, who has not helped him to get to where he is, having
Why if the
having
woman is
access.
coming to your point earlier, the woman is coming, she's loaded, she's making six figures, she got everything, and then she meet this dude, I should like to call it pretty boy, Mr. Popular, and then he say, "Hey man, let's sign a printable."
Women date up. Don't date below your status. Simple as
Okay,
that.
let's okay. Miss Jerry, should prenup be a deal breaker? Should it be a deal breaker if your partner comes to you and say, "Hey, let's do a prenup," and you refuse? Should that be the deal breaker? Should that end the marriage?
No, I don't think prenup should be a deal breaker at all.
Okay,
At all.
okay. Why don't you think it should be a deal breaker?
As I said, it just always come down to the partner and what you guys want.
Hmm. Yeah, but
Because
the partner is
for
insisting that we should do it, right? To Taylor's main point or to Jerry's point earlier, if you
mhm.
don't do it, it means a red flag. It means you have different intention. You have DI. So should that be a deal breaker?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Because this is that if the person is coming into the relationship with a significant amount of wealth, it's like a huge wealth gap,
Uh-huh.
and that person is coming to you, like everyone has said, like, I need a prenup. I need to protect myself. I can. You have not helped this person in any way, shape, or form build what they
Hmm.
already have. It's
Hmm.
only fair that a person asks for prenup. If they're
Okay.
gonna ask you to sign a prenup, you're gonna say, "Oh, you don't love me enough to want to sign a prenup,"
Hmm.
and I don't. That it should be a deal breaker for the person who have built their empire, because like, okay, I'm trying to protect myself, and I feel like you're just looking for a cash grab. But I feel
So
like if you
if
have something to add to that person, for example, if you meet a man, maybe he's a
Mhm.
doctor, right?
Mhm.
And he has built this like his practice or whatever, and you just an Instagram model.
Mhm.
Like what do you really have to add to that person's life if that person is
Mhm.
going to come to you with a prenup to agreement? You're going to tell that person no. However, for example, maybe if you're going to school, maybe as a nurse,
Mhm.
you could significantly add to his life eventually.
Mhm.
Then you can argue that and be like, hey, this is what I'm bringing. Like, I don't need to sign no prenup. But if you don't have anything to add to that person, then it makes sense for you to sign the prenup.
Okay. Jerry, my man Jerry, I'll ask you this question, right? It's like this one. It's like Stefan is back here again. Is it if the prenup stuff come up, let us just stay boyfriend and girlfriend, right? If you guys are dating in our future and say, "Hey, I think we'll get married, we gotta do a prenups," he's not even gonna go there. He's just gonna say, man, that's just the boyfriend and girlfriend because I hope thing you bring it. I'm not up for it. My man Jerry, what's the response to that?
You know, I'm sticking with the red flag thing. I'm sorry. Why? Because if you say you love this person, then sign it.
Mhm,
Then I can
mhm.
I can I can make an argument, the other way too, and say, okay, well, I
So
mean,
would
look,
that be a deal breaker? I'll ask you the same question I asked earlier. Would that be a deal breaker for you if they don't
oh yeah,
sign it? If it's a red flag, is it a deal breaker for you?
yeah, it will raise questions, of
No,
course.
I know
But
a risk question, but is it a deal breaker? Are you
deal
gonna marry
breaker,
her or not yet?
yeah, definitely.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
if you
To
guys
me,
are
I already said it's a
married,
red flag. He's not going to marry her.
okay, okay, that's
That's
fair.
fine.
Well, what if they are married though? I mean, you guys are married and the prenup stuff come up. Are you gonna go to the level of divorce because she refused to sign the prenup?
Oh, I think by then it'll be too late to be
Now,
thinking
people
about
do post, they call it
Yeah,
post
yeah,
up instead of prenup. People
sometimes
do
you
go
get
back to the
it.
table in a marriage and try to do make
Yeah,
agree on stuff
I
like
don't.
married couples do that.
Miss B though, maybe you the one. I said this your topic. You brought this up. I mean, do people do prenups before the marriage or after the marriage?
You can do it before the marriage, and you can do it during, like she said, they do a post nup. So that means you've already got married, and
Hmm.
but you change your mind, right?
Hmm.
And again, ladies, if he's asking you to sign the prenup, sign the prenup. Because the reality, if a man has that much going on for himself and he's asking you to find the prenups, you'll say, you know how to say affiliation? Just the idea you carrying that last name, girl, you're gonna level up. Sign the prenup. Because when they see Mrs. Brown at the end of that last name, oh, Mrs. Brown, doors will open up for you, right? And you will show him that you didn't need his money to get to level up. So sign the prenup. Don't push
We're talking
back.
about okay. For me, I want to focus right in our African immigrant community. Most of us don't have those $500,000 jobs or whatever. Talking about two people making $50,000, $75,000. I know you talk about their future potential. Why should prenups even come up in a conversation? Why at that
because
income level?
because for instance, you want to talk
Hmm.
about people making 50,000. I'm making $45,000. That's my income bracket as a CNA, right?
Hmm.
However, my ability to earn more is there because I'm going to do doubles. I know some people working home health aid jobs,
Hmm.
CNA jobs, got 60,
Hmm.
$75,000 in their bank account because why? They've been focused on saving their money.
Hmm.
That is money that needs to be protected, ladies, because you've been working hard with a little minimum wage job that you have, but you've been financially smart to say, you know
Hmm.
what, I'm
Hmm.
not going to be spending my money out here lavishly. I'm going to save it up. So now you might meet a man, even if he's making more, he may have ideas for that money. I would still say protect yourself.
Okay.
I would say protect yourself.
Okay. Tell me, how can prenup, especially in our community, how can prenup be fair and beneficial to both partners, right? It shouldn't be wherein it won't get into a situation where one partner feel cheated. Is say, hey, he's just doing that because maybe right now he's making a little bit more than me, so it's being one sided. How can it be? How can it get to the point where it can be fair and beneficial to both partners?
So
Tell
in a
me.
situation like that, I believe that for one, maybe example like this, if the two people maybe build a business together, you understand what I'm saying? So if you build that business together, the two of them, that should be something like I said before on your show. Whatever maybe a man is trying to do, if you're a woman, I don't care maybe if it's 10% or maybe $1, try to contribute to be part of it. Why? For instance, maybe if somebody say maybe he bought a house and you contributed to us maybe to help him buy that house. When that man even get upset and say that, get out of my house, you will turn around and say, which house? Is it not the two of us that bought this house? You understand what I'm saying? So if you know somebody maybe in a situation like that, if you build things together, it's very hard for somebody to say, okay, I think it's time for you to pack your bag and leave because I see maybe another light-skinned lady that I like. I don't like you again. You can leave. People can do that. See what I'm saying? So a situation like that, of course, that's fair share. But again, I don't think anybody want to participate in something where you know that even us being a human being, Why would I want to even go and collect something from somebody that I know I didn't contribute towards it? And that is happening in this world that we live in nowadays. Because my brother and sister, there's no love. Oh. The one that used to love you, everybody loves somebody because of a reason. One, maybe she's very beautiful. Maybe he's a handsome man. Maybe he has a good job. Maybe the man is loaded. Maybe the woman is loaded. Maybe he's very generous in giving to people. For this reason, people love people because of this reason. There's more, but they are not telling you the reason why they love you. And everybody have some type of inner secret. And when you ask them, say that, why is it that you love me? I don't know. I just love you because you remind me of something, and I can let me just enjoy the reason why I love you. I cannot say it. Just let me enjoy looking at you. Do you see that type of sweet talk? They'll tell you sweet talk like that. That means they are putting this chapstick on your leg so that you feel important of yourself.
Okay.
But they are not telling you the main reason why they love you.
Okay. So, folks, tonight we are discussing financial transparency. When to
Sign
talk
this
money
prenup. Oh.
and the modern
Sign
role
it.
of prenups and the modern role of prenups. To me, is prenup even necessary in our immigrant community? Is it even necessary? But so, Jerry, though, to another point, right? What if you're an immigrant here, right? It's like maybe your spouse is you want to file for your spouse in that situation, trying to bring your spouse here. Should you factor a prenup into that conversation? I mean, into that situation?
Is it for me?
Yeah, as for you, yeah.
Okay. To be honest, yes, because when was this? Somebody just told me a story yesterday about a dude who he came here. He got his stuff together. He paid a lot of money, right? He didn't have his paperwork. So check this out, right? He didn't have his paperwork. He worked hard, side gig, paid a lot of money to get the wife from Africa here, and also paid money so she can, you know how it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she got her paperwork, and now she doesn't even want to have anything to do with him. So there are a lot of stories that you sometimes you bring people here, and things, they come here and they see different things, different lifestyle, and they get exposed to a lot of things, and things change. I mean, look, we all know this, like love. So, like my man Taylor May said, love, man. Sometimes you can't even define it. Like if you ask somebody, why do you love them, or why do you love me, and they give you an answer, that's wrong. To me, for me, I look at it like, okay, you can have one answer to it. Like sometimes you can't even process it, right?
I said it.
At the same time, it could fade. Like, it's not
Just
guaranteed.
like that.
Just like that, you may love somebody today, and like you go crazy for them, right? Give them a couple more years, like you may find something to complain about, and before you know it, or maybe somebody else will come from the other side and just take you away, like, so the love thing, yes, you can, to bring somebody here without a prenup. uh, I mean, unless you're just trying to help them, but other than that, I don't, you have to protect yourself.
Okay, okay, that's good. Miss Cherry, in this, do you think, right? Again, I will stick to our immigrant community, especially the African immigrant community. We have, it's like this show Wednesday. We talk about, money. Our African, but not that money conversation. Tonight, we're talking about prenups. That is something that's not common in the community. Should it become, should it become a norm? Should it become common in the community, where in like folks that are deciding, especially the young folks out there that are deciding to tie the knot, or all of Miss B single sisters out there that are deciding to get someone, should they be thinking about, prenups?
I would say for all of Miss B bus babes, definitely. Because they
Okay.
work hard for their money, they should protect themselves.
Uh-huh.
Like, you protect yourself, you do what you got to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, because, but again, as I said, like most states have law in place. Like, even if you don't have a prenup, you go to the divorce table,
Okay.
you will still get something. It's not just, okay, because I don't have a prenup, the lawyer's just going to favor this
But
person.
is it
That's
gonna be fair though? Is it gonna be fair? Won't
a lot
prenup
of the
make it?
times the lawyers,
Mhm.
if you have good lawyers, they're going to do it in a fair way. Like,
Okay.
honestly, like a
Okay.
lot of states have those things in place where it's going to be fair. most of the times, if you have a good lawyer, you have a business before that marriage. Even if you don't have a prenup, that lawyer can, if you have a good lawyer, the other person cannot get anything from that business because, first of all, what did this person contribute to this business?
My man Jerry shaking your head. You said,
No,
what?
I disagree with the fact that it's going to be fair. I
Okay.
don't.
Well, okay. Why do
Program
you
is
disagree?
not,
Why do you
because
disagree?
if I'm a rich guy, I can hire all these lawyers, right?
Okay.
Like we can fight this to death, like, because I have the money to afford it, right?
Yeah.
And the other person may not be able to afford it, so they can prolong this thing to whenever 10, 20 years. I don't know how many years, right?
But
And then you gonna end up giving up.
not to cut
Because
you off, a lot of the things you guys are saying on here, you guys, like, you are coming from the point where, okay, I'm coming with the money, so I'm trying to protect myself. So at the end of the day, going to that divorce table, you are the rich guy on the table, anyways.
And
but that's
and
not,
yes, the thing, but yes, where I want to keep the
So
conversation.
you
I know
still
you guys thinking
benefit.
about in our community, a lot of people are not rich. Okay, that's just the fact.
That's where I'm coming from, and that's what I'm
And
saying.
that's
It
what
don't
to
make a
me,
lot
even
of
that's what
sense. It don't
I'm
make
driving this
sense
thing
for a
at.
lot of our people because we don't even have the income bracket for a prenup to even
Yeah,
begin with.
exactly. So Miss B, if we don't have the income bracket for the whole prenup thing, why should our community be so I mean, does it even matter in our community, immigrant community,
Then
especially
that's the people that, because the rich man can afford to lose some of the money because he has a lot. So
uh,
we're the ones that need to protect ourselves even more.
so
If you have a
so
little
we are
already,
making, I mean, we that
yeah.
are
If I
making
don't
little
have
bit.
much already, why
Uh,
should I be? If I don't have much and I work
mhm,
hard and save up $50,000 in this country,
mhm,
that's nothing to think lightly about. That's nothing to dismiss.
mhm.
To be honest, fifty
Okay, so
thousand dollars right now in a savings account from a
I'm not
nine to
talking about
five
saving. That's why
job.
you earn. That's why you earn it. That's so like that's your
And
yearly
so the
income.
audacity that you guys
Why
think I
should we need
shouldn't
a
want to
prenup?
prenup and
Some people
protect
making
it, that's
50,000.
wrong.
Why should they need a prenup?
Yeah,
Why?
most of them don't even have a savings. They don't.
Yeah,
They don't have. No,
some
they
people
don't have an
making
asset. They
fifty
don't have,
thousand.
because the main
Why
point
should
of
they
a
need a
prenup
prenup?
is to protect an asset. You don't even have an asset to protect. Why do you need a prenup?
I have an asset. I'm telling you, you guys are minimizing my asset. You want to
How?
say that
What
you
asset do
want
you have?
my
What
asset?
asset do you
Yeah,
have?
don't minimize my asset.
Your 401k.
You
Your
guys want to
401k.
say
So your full. I'm bringing 401k. Bringing 401k. What's there to
yes,
protect?
and not all 401ks are equal.
Oh,
There's some people working in like food manufacturing jobs, Abraham,
uh,
because not all jobs pay the same amount into 401k.
mhm,
Some 401ks they match you 50-50. Some 401ks are matching you 3%. We
mhm,
both working regular 9 to 5. That
mhm,
person who's doing that forklift job has
mhm.
a better 401k than that girl who has that CNA job. That's the reality. And you
Okay.
guys want to be dismissive of that. This is the reality. And so
Mhm,
when he marries her 5 years
mhm,
later, he been
mhm,
stacking up his 401k at his forklift job.
mhm,
She's going to get half.
mhm.
And the reality is that's the main thing they're gonna go for, because they, what the money he got so much, but I want half of that 401k.
Yeah,
That's the
but
first
okay.
thing she's gonna ask for.
Here's the other thing though. Okay, here's the other thing. Instead of me, I'll bring this to you, right? It's like you guys have kids, right? Even if I mean she's going to get half of the 401k, you guys have kids. You guys have built a life together. Why does it matter? I mean, why should you be concerned? Taylor made it is for you. You guys have family, you guys have kids. If she's taking that money, it's still gonna benefit your kids.
You're taking what money?
Half your
Your
401k for your
401k,
children.
your 401k.
Can
The
you
child
imagine?
support would be
Okay,
cheaper than the 401k.
Mr. Host,
Mm,
do you know that most of those women, not every one of them though, that even when they say maybe child support, that man that's giving them this child support money, do you know that they are not spending the money on those man children? Those things happen.
okay.
Now that you're even going for just to piggyback on what Ms. B said, can you
Mm,
imagine somebody who has tried their best?
mm,
If maybe what the house that they are giving you, if it's not enough, they are going inside your bank account. If that's not enough, now see how far this thing is going. Inside this 401k. You know that you see the reason why most men are dying early death because of some of these reasons. But you're laughing. Okay. See that most of our brothers, they're dying early death because of all this calamity, because there's so much burdens on man. Man have to worry about themselves. They have to worry about their mothers. They have to worry maybe if they are paying child support. They have to worry about mortgage. They have to worry about maybe the wife or maybe woman that they are with. Sometimes you are with a woman, they say that, oh, I'm scoring on this page. I like this handbag. It was good. Oh, this bag going to look very good on my shoulders. When I wear it, my friends will love me. As a man, automatically, not that they have asked you to buy it for them, man, we are going to war to start thinking in your head. I need to fight her maybe to buy this bag for my wife. So man go through all these things. And if this is not enough reality that we are watching this thing is happening in Minnesota, in this entire world, in these 50 states. Boys are dying early death because of stress. I'm glad that maybe this prenup that we are discussing is very important because sometimes at least let a man live with something that they can protect. Let a woman live with something that they can protect. That way, that if you say that you don't want the person, you cannot just go and rake everything that the person have. Just work hard and earn. You want to come and just grab it like that and just decide to leave. It doesn't work like that.
Okay, Jared. It's my man Jerry, right? As I said, right, in our community, a lot of folks don't like to just financial conversation, money conversation is seems to be a taboo, and we're talking about one tonight prenup. How can we make it a conversation in our community? How can we, in terms of that whole like financial education piece, how can we make prenups acceptable? As Tida May is saying, they say, I mean, like, a lot of young men are dying out there because they get into something, they realize, boom, they hit them in the face. But how can we make it very, very acceptable, right, in our community, in our immigrant community?
By talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're shedding light on this right now. I'm hoping a lot of people watch this and really understand that the significance of this topic, because you know, from the way I look at it, you know, I feel like without prenup, you know, people create a sense of false entitlement. You know, people come and in a way, and it's all relative, right? If you know, like everybody is saying on the panel, if you start up with somebody, you know, from the bottom up, then you know, without a prenup, then you can talk about, okay, hey, I helped you, you know, I was part of the journey, so I need my share of the cut, which is understandable. You know, as a man, you got to understand it because she was with you when you didn't have, or the other way around too. But you know, like Jury said, if you come in with your money and your finances intact, you got to bring, if and you in the process of getting married, you need that prenup to protect yourself and your blood, sweat, and tears, right? And if that person doesn't understand how hard it is to make money in this day and age, to be reasonable and say, okay, all right, I understand where you're coming from. I know I'm not going to leave you anyway, so I'm going to sign. At the same time, while signing this, I'm also protecting myself and making sure I may have something at the end of the a day. If things don't work out, then it's all good for both sides. You know, I think prenup. You know, we making a big deal out of this, but to be honest, man, it just kind of clarifies things. You know, so it's gonna get messy at the end of the day.
Okay. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing financial transparency. We want to talk money and the modern world of prenup. So, meaning we are focusing on prenups tonight. This is a 1 hour show, so we won't drag it all night. We'll just carry on for a few more minutes and we'll wrap it up here tonight. So, thanks so much for joining us. You can put a comment in the chat or call our number 817-600-1525. But Miss Jerry, if I go back to this whole idea, right? Especially like for the younger generations, right, that are coming into this thing, right, in our community. Again, to me, I want to stick to the whole to folks that are making the same income, folks that are, you know, on the same wavelength. You know, how can we, even at that, right? Miss B said earlier they should protect their future, but how can we make this a common norm in our community so that someone doesn't feel burned at the end of the day, right? Is maybe the person's working hard, stacking up that 401k. How can we make sure like financial education, like prenup, become a norm in our community, in our immigrant community?
Well, as Jerry said, it's just educating people and explain, because I feel like within our community, it's stigma tied to prenup. People just automatically assume like, oh, you don't want to give me anything, you just want to screw me over
Yeah.
if something happens. So if we can just educate people and try to explain to them, okay, The whole idea of prenup is for each party to protect themselves. It's not just for one person to come and take everything if something ever happens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for you, like if someone bring a prenup, you can always ask it and say, okay, you can always negotiate. Okay, if you're gonna say you're coming with all of the money or you're gonna make more money in the future, if I'm like I have a friend who made his wife sign a prenup.
Mm-hmm.
He has significant amount of wealth coming into the marriage. And he told her, if you have me the first child, I will give you this percentage. If you have a second child, I'll give you this percentage. The
Man.
agreement was she stay home and be with the kid, have no intentions to return back to the workforce. However, is she going to get anything out of that wealth? She has to bear him children. If she
Well,
cannot bear him children, she walks away with nothing. Of course, the girl went to work and had the babies. So it's just about coming. It's about like, what do you guys want out of the prenup, and people coming to the table and negotiating. This is what I want out of it if things go south, and this is what you're going to get out of it is if things go south. So we both benefit. So no one is screwed over. If we
mm,
are explaining it that way, because a lot of times when we look at rich folks and maybe in movies and stuff, when people do prenup, it's always the rich guy who's protecting his parent asset. We come from old money, and it's this girl he picked out of nowhere, and he's trying to protect his money. But if we're
mm,
explaining, okay, in our community, a lot of times when people go through divorces, it's either the man who's affected the most, as most people said. I didn't know that. I thought women were the one who were affected the most, but apparently men are, where the women take half of his 401k, she don't bring a lot to the table, or she's taking alimony, she's taking child support, she's taking money out of the 401k, and he's struggling financially. So if we put these things in place where the man gets to benefit and the woman gets to benefit, and both parties is at ease if anything ever happened.
okay. Miss
Madam
B.
Jared is speaking our language now.
Miss B.
Language.
If we're trying to put this education out there as we're doing tonight, on Cycle podcast, how can such a conversation, right, even start up between two partners where it doesn't look that the person coming into a different intention, right? How can the conversation of prenup be brought up, in a relationship? How can it start without the other person feel, oh, you bring out the printout thing because you don't want to stay in it here for long, right? You just coming. It coming with different intention. It's all transactional. How can that conversation start? Where can it start and how?
It should start with kids. There's a lot of marriages that are sticking together because it's cheaper to keep her, right? That's how some
Mm-hmm.
mentalities are in our community,
Mm-hmm.
where people didn't know I met you. We all started out, we didn't have nothing. We're living in an apartment. We're both working in a group home, but eventually I see a lot of these men, they going to school, leveling up, getting their engineering degrees now, getting their computer information systems degrees. So those marriages need to start having these conversations with their kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have 4 girls. We're building an empire here, my husband and I. Heck, we're having conversation with our daughters to sign prenups and protect the stuff that their dad has built for them. They
Mm-hmm.
need to protect it. And so that's where the conversation needs to start. I know a lot of us didn't come into these marriages with a lot, didn't know what was going to come out of them. And so when you have your kids, this next generation of kids,
Mm-hmm.
let's have those conversations with them and start saying, hey, mom and dad have gone to school. We've worked hard. We've supported you through college. We've got our little house here now. We're going to pass these little things on to you guys. Protect yourselves, get things in place, make sure that you end up with the right person so they don't take you for all that you got. So the
Okay.
conversation needs to start with our kids. It
Okay.
really does.
With that said, Taylor made, then what is the biggest misconception, right? Or myth? What is the biggest myth about prenups? What do you think, especially folks in our community, what it is they get wrong about prenups? I mean,
Can you say that
what is
again?
the biggest myth or misconception about prenups?
What do they is do you say that what do they get wrong about prenups?
Yeah, yeah.
Like somebody said earlier, what do they get wrong about prenup? Maybe somebody who does not even know about prenup, maybe think the outside of it, that the opposite of maybe what everybody's talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the battle line to it. But I will piggyback off of something Jerry said earlier. The question that you asked Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is coming from Africa and you are
Yeah,
the one that may be fighting for that person,
yeah.
how do you get them to sign that paperwork? You know that in this country that we sign paperwork, what they have that thing called the fine print, Abi?
Mm.
Correct. When if there's a way that you can slide that document, print up document inside that those document, slide it inside that document. If that one does not work because the government is sending the documents to her,
Yeah.
no problem. Once she come from airport, just convince her that we have been going out for some time, but this life insurance document, just in case anything happened to me, you and the children, you can collect this money. They will not read. African people don't like to read. Not all of them like to read. She will sign that paper. Don't allow her to get close to people that she know, friends. Do you know that those children, their friends have been educating them. When they come, they'll go to, oh, I'm going to Stacy's house. Do you know that all those years that she stayed in Africa, Stacy had never called her to, never sent her money. But when they come here, they know everybody now. Stacy will say that, oh, let's go to this baby shower. Next thing, when the man say, you know what, you have to be very careful, just come down to, oh, you bring the girl here, and you just want her to sit home and cook for him and wash his clothes and do this and do that. You don't even want to give the girl freedom. That freedom, that's what they are going to be meeting people. They'll be educating them or all this thing. But when you put that thing in place, she can go wherever place she likes. She can go to Jericho, go to any house party that she like. Make her that she will send that people. She don't even know that she sent it. That way, that when something go wrong, you did balance.
Okay. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing financial transparency, the modern world of prenup. Jerry, the my man Jerry, as we wrap this up, what message you want to leave with the folks tonight, right? What's the message you want to leave with our listeners out there, with our audience out there, about the whole prenup thing? Because I said, man, it's not a conversation that is normal in our community. But what's the message you want to leave with the folks out there listening to you tonight?
I would say, people should stop thinking prenup, the myth about, okay, if you sign a prenup, then you don't love the other person. People, once you mention prenup, people will, usually think about, oh, well, if you love me, then why should we sign a prenup? My message is, protect yourself from it protects both parties, basically. In the case of messy divorce, both of you guys who walk away in a civil manner, and clarifies how things are handled financially after breakup. So really, just keep educating yourself, and you'll be fine. It's a crazy world out there, man. Protect yourself.
Okay. Miss Jerry, thanks so much for joining us tonight. You become your first night on, and you have decided to become a regular panelist on our business and finance segment on Wednesdays. So, on your first night here, right, what's the message, especially as it relates to the prenup, right? What's the message you want to leave with folks tonight? What's your party message to all those who have been listening to you, who you said to you, right? For you, but if you're making $75,000 to you, what's the point? What message? What's the point? What's the point of that stuff from your vantage point? From your viewpoint, what's the point of that? But anyway, what's the
Yeah.
message you want to leave with folks tonight?
Well, life happens,
Mm.
unexpected happens. So I would say it's always good to look out for yourself and protect yourself, and just be wise going into relationships and marriages, and just when it comes to making financial decisions, that should be something you guys should discuss the
Mhm.
beginning
Mhm.
earlier on in relationships before even taking the next step to marriage. Because once these things are discussed earlier on in a marriage, even if you have divorce or a prenup, it's amicable. You don't have to go back and forth. It's just easy.
Okay, Miss B. Well, no, first of all, I'll let you. This is your topic. I'll let you close it out tonight. But tell me, as we wrap this up, what is the message you want to leave with the audience tonight regarding this prenup? You know, what's the party message tonight?
So if you're listening to this podcast, I will say this to you. Prenups is not a devil. Prenups is not the enemy. If you are dating somebody, make sure that you sign that prenup. If you are married to somebody, before you get married, make sure that you sign that prenup. Prenup does not mean that the person does not love you. Prenup does not mean that the person does not care. But you have to understand that one thing in this world, that if somebody heart is broken, Man can change. Even Bible said that the heart of a man is desperately wicked. When that wickedness is going to come, you will never know. A man that's set for you or a woman that's set for you have more knowledge than you. Meaning that if tomorrow that they are deciding to break up with you, you don't even know. They can do it whenever time that they feel like it. So my message to you, get it done. Make sure that you protect what is yours. Because to work and just accomplish some things that you know that when marriage goes wrong, it will be very hard for you to recover. Like I said earlier, those things are leading to early death. There's some damage that people will cause you. You will never bounce back from it. What it took you to build for maybe 30 years, somebody can come and destroy it in less than 2 hours. That's part of it. So we cannot be stupid and be numb to these things. It's a very good topic. And I hope that you people, every part of this country that are listening to this, because it helps you in so many different ways. So if I'm you, please go ahead and do this as soon as possible. Let it protect you somewhere down the line, because you never know. You never know.
Okay.
You never know.
Okay.
I was trying to rap now.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're talking from experience. You're very passionate about it.
No, I'm not a very knowledgeable person. I'm almost 50 years old. You cannot tell me my life on earth. I don't know. Do you know that the most important thing, Jerry, let me just close up since she said that. If you have not made this mistake, somebody else that have made this mistake that you know about, that's learning experience. That's how we grow and develop. Am I telling life? So maybe it's not me. Maybe it's other people that I know.
Yeah, true.
So that's why we are here to share this knowledge, Madam Jerry.
No, just kidding.
Yeah. Miss B, right?
And you sound like somebody who's very loaded. You, Madam Jerry. I can tell. You're Miss B. I don't know you people income to what you worth, but I can tell that the two of you are very loaded. But I'm going to find out.
Okay. Miss B, as we wrap up here tonight, as we wrap this series on money and marriage, money and relationship in this month of love, right? It's not only this topic tonight, but as we wrap the whole series up, you brought these great topics, by the way, great conversations, especially when it comes to relationship and money is very important. It should be very important. What's the message you want to leave with the folks out there tonight as we wrap this series up about money and love generally, and then the root of prenups?
So I know from the beginning in the month, we started with this idea of when do you start to have the conversation? And everybody was like shocked when I said the first date. And yes, I'm sticking to it. That first date, start to talk about what are you bringing to the table? What are you doing? What do you got going on? Be honest and transparency, because we talk about love and honest and communication, but if you spend the first 90 days of the relationship lying about who you are, what you have and don't have, then you're already starting on a bad note, right? But for some reason we condone that because it's like, oh, it's love. And so my best advice tonight is this: start from day one, having those critical, important conversations. And money is at the root of all evil. Good, bad is at the root, right? And then just to close out tonight, we're saying, before you step into the marriage, protect yourself. Please do. If it's $5 or it's $5 million, protect yourself. Ladies, protect yourself. Guys, protect yourself. And so thank you for joining us in the month of love. March Madness is coming up, and we're going to have a lot of great things here on Wednesday night. Hopefully this is our new Wednesday night crew. I appreciate you, Jerry. And I appreciate you, Jerry, as well, both Jerrys. And I appreciate you, Taylor May, for joining the host here, ABNI, on Wednesday nights this month. We hope to keep you guys coming. So please, you're invited. The invitation is out there. Stay with us.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. With that, that concludes the end of our show tonight. Discuss prenups. For me, that's a new topic to me. It's like I learn a lot. Cycle podcast, you learn a lot. You learn new things every day. So, folks, see you all tomorrow, same time, 7:30. We have a great topic tomorrow and a good guest. So please join us tomorrow. It's going to be great. And then we're going to be back at you here Wednesday. As Miss B said, we hope that is the Wednesday crew, right? Where they can bring great knowledge. Sit up, man. It's like everybody be enjoying you out there. So keep bringing it. Miss Jerry, you have a lot of knowledge, your entrepreneurial knowledge. My man Jerry, man, you got a lot of data to share with us. So thank you so much, guys. Good night, everyone.
All right.
Bye.